Okay, so this is the second lesson. Okay, so in this exercise, we're going to calculate the area of a circle given its radius. Okay, so let's open up the Visual Basic editor. Okay, so this is our previous program. Now, let's insert another module. Okay, so again, we're gonna create another subprogram. So let's call this circle area. So the first thing we need is we need a radius. So let's have it as double since it has decimal points, or it can have decimal points. Now let's do an area. Area is also double because this can have decimal points as well. So okay, so now the area. Now let's assign radius first. So radius is equal to active sheet dot cells. Let's see, row 4, column 2. So what's this? 4, comma 2. Okay, so now that we have the radius, let's calculate the area. Area is equal to radius squared, or radius times radius. Let's do radius times radius times pi. Okay, 3.14159, around that. So okay, so here we have a constant. Okay, now we can create another variable and make it a constant, but there's ways to actually make constants in most programming languages. So in Excel, to make a constant, we just outside of our sub. So we usually do this at the very top after option explicit. So const, we type const, and then pi is equal to 3.14159, and that's our first constant. Notice how for constants I've put all uppercase. That's usually the convention for constants. So whenever you have a constant, make sure it's all uppercase. Okay. So so if I were to have another constant which is not related to this question, for example, constant population, I'll call it. It would be uppercase 6 billion, something like that. Okay, just it's a convention to have. Alright, so let's get back to this question. Now that we have the radius of the area, the area of the circle, we can print it on the screen. So active sheet dot cells 4 3 is equal to area. Okay, so notice the left and the right is very important. So the right, when something on the left will always take the value of the right. So the stuff that you have on the right does not change. It's only the stuff that you have on the left that will change of this equation. So here we want to print the area onto our screen. So we need to change the active sheet.cells into our area. And here we want to assign the variable radius to something we have on our screen. So we need to change our variable radius to the thing that we have on the screen. It's quite intuitive. So let's run that and see if it works. Okay, looks like it's worked. Now, instead of this, you could have had to the power of 2 if you wanted to. Okay, just make sure you have some. I mean, it would have worked properly, but it's probably better to have brackets around stuff. Yeah, same thing. Okay, so so that's it. So you've learned how to make constants. Now let's put this into a button. Okay, so we've learned 2 ways to activate our macro. One's to do it from here. Okay, circle program run. So if I change that, and I do circle program run, it will change our area. The other way is to run it from our Visual Basic editor. Now there's a third way where we can actually insert a button and assign the macro to it. So to do that, go into the Developers tab, so just here, and then go into Insert and Form Controls or ActiveX Controls. Right now, these two are not much different. to you. I guess it's not important to know what the difference is. You can choose either one of them. It's just the properties of these are different, but for now our purposes will suffice with either one of them. So let's go with the form control, and then now we created a button. Now it's asking us whether we want to assign a macro to it. So let's assign circle area to it. Press OK. Now every time we click this button, the circle area form macro will activate. So click, click. Now you know how to make buttons now. Click. Okay. And to change the name of the button, we just right click the button and then highlight the name and change it to circle, or area of a circle, area of the circle, let's call it. Okay, and let's change the font. So go into home. Everything else is pretty much the same. Make it 18, and here we go. Okay, so 0.5. Okay, and that's it. That's our second lesson.